Investigators are calling some excessive spending, and when you see the readout, it's a lot.
There's a lot included in this report, Marie. We're talking wildlife safaris, hot air balloon trips,
wildlife safaris.
all at the district's expense.
You got the
and
wrong
at a time
job.
To remember when CPS is trying
Sitting
to
here with
close
you, I could be on the school
$700
board.
million budget gap.
You got some good stuff, some good humor topics for us today?
Some of them are kind of humorous. I'm going to go to the downfall of the great city of Chicago. So
I guess it's humorous because we live in Florida.
yeah, at least I don't live in Chicago.
Oh, poor people.
So as some of you may know, Chicago has been facing major problems over the past few months. And right now they're having a spending problem. And the spending problem is coming from the Chicago public school system. So last week, it was uncovered through an investigation that the Chicago public school system has basically taken taxpayer money that's meant to go to their kids so they can learn better and do math better. They've been taking that money and going on luxury vacations, and this money has been spent in the tunes of millions. And this is not just something that has recently taken place. This is something that's been going on for quite a few years.
If I'm not mistaken, they have one of the most horrific childhood reading levels in all of America.
Yeah, and I'm going to get into that. It's an article that speaks on that, and it's crazy that the money that they can be using to help their children read, help their children do math, they're spending on luxury vacations, going to 5-star hotels, dining in 5-star restaurants. It's just crazy. I have a video on it that I'm going to play right here.
Luxury hotels, limo rides, all on the taxpayer's dime. A new report from the Chicago Public Schools Inspector General raises some serious questions about millions of dollars in travel expenses by district staff. CBS News Chicago's Marissa Perlman here with me now on more on what the investigators are calling some excessive spending. And when you see the readout, it's a lot.
There's a lot included in this report, Marie. We're talking wildlife safaris, hot air balloon trips,
Wildlife safaris.
all at the district's expense.
You got the
and
wrong
at a time
job.
To remember when CPS is trying
Sitting
to
here with
close
you, I could be on the school
$700
board.
million budget gap.
By our judgment, the costs were frequently excessive. And in fact, they frequently exceeded CPS's spending limits.
Phil Wagenknecht, Inspector General for CPS, says a nearly 2-year-long investigation found the travel expense process to be broken and its bookkeeping deficient.
We saw time and time again, staff members were able to go on these trips without getting approval at all, without seeking approval, at times even after they sought approval and it was rejected.
The investigation started after several
Wait, so approval was rejected, and then they still took the safari? Oh, we are in special times, my man. We're in
Chicago definitely
times.
in special times.
It is Gotham out here. It is Gotham.
Yeah, Chicago is in special
complaints came
times.
into the watchdog agency. One of them, a $20,000 trip to Egypt that was never pre-approved. The report shows some people charged CPS for limo rides to the airport and education retreats at spas. Others would go to conferences at Disney World, but wouldn't attend a similar event in Chicago.
CPS should find a way to do more professional development here in Chicago, close to home.
The investigation later found 600 school and district staff went to Las Vegas for professional development.
At that
600?
Vegas conference, they were staying at
600?
4 or 5-star hotels.
Insane.
600 staff members of the public schooling system went on the trip to Disney.
Yes, 600. Yes, it's.
And how many of their kids went with them? They pay for them too?
I don't believe so.
No?
I don't believe so. But this is something that's been spanning for quite a few years. These trips that they've been going on, these luxury vacation trips, it's insane.
Like, people entrust you. They put their trust in you and vote you in for school board because they think that you have the best in mind for their children.
Mm-hmm.
And then you rob them.
Yeah, you rob them
As soon
blind.
as they turn their back, you rob them.
Yeah, rob them by millions.
It's horrific. It's horrific.
It is horrific.
Hotels, including Caesar's Palace and the Bellagio.
Almost 90%
Look at
of
that.
those
Look
who
how beautiful that
attended
is.
exceeded the district's hotel room
I've stayed in
spending
one of them
limit.
before.
District
But I don't
travel
tax
spending
that.
more than
No,
doubled
no,
in
it was mine. I was
2019
broke after too.
But remember, CPS announced earlier this year it faced a more than $700 million budget hole. And this summer, the
$700
district
million
laid
budget
off
hole.
hundreds of staff and made other cuts.
So
to
that
put-
makes me want to lead into this documentary where it really gets into the nitty gritty of what's going on. Let me pull up this article. So it says a recent report from Chicago Public Schools CPS Office of Inspector General, released on November 12, 2025, has exposed significant lapses in travel spending oversight, describing many expenses as questionable, excessive, and even exorbitant. The investigation, prompted by public complaints and spanning nearly 2 years, focused on overnight travel for staff professional development and student trips. It highlighted a surge in costs fueled by federal pandemic relief funds and inadequate district policies, occurring amid CPS's ongoing budget challenges, including a projected $734 million deficit for the 2025-26 school year. Despite spending over $30,000 per student annually, academic outcomes remain poor, with many schools reporting low proficiency rates in reading and math. So I guess you were right that it says student trips. So I guess some of these trips students are coming on.
$30,000 per student annually. So if you had each teacher inside of a classroom with only 4 students, you could pay them $120,000 each.
Yeah.
Or after, if they got rid of all the pork fat,
Right.
they
On
can
the
make
forefront.
at least 90,000 for teaching 4 students. Now you put 20 students in a class, the public schooling system there should be turning a profit.
Yeah, they
It
should
should
be.
be turning a profit like a private enterprise.
Right. They shouldn't be in a $734 million deficit. But they're spending so much on these luxury vacations that even after all that, they're stuck in a hole for $735 million. And as you can see, more
Almost $1 billion. One city.
yeah, almost $1 billion.
One city.
Yeah. And the key findings right here, fiscal year 2019, overnight travel spending, $3.6 million. 2021, they did a little better with the negative 300.
Because no one could travel. All flights were shut down.
Exactly. But then 2024, it bounces right back up, 7.7 million. 2023 to 2024, 14.5 million. So, I mean, Chicago has a major spending problem, not only in the educational department, but they have a major spending problem across their whole city. They're in a $1.15 billion deficit when it comes to their whole city.
But wait, 700 million of that is public schooling alone.
Yeah, and 700 million as well as schooling alone. So that's really a huge chunk of their deficit. Now that you speak of it, I never really thought about
This
that.
is a great example of my stance of why we need to shut down the Department of Education. Some of that money is probably coming from the government, from the federal government.
Definitely some of this comes federal.
And it just goes to show that it doesn't work. You don't need the government to control education. We've done nothing but have worse reading levels for children, worse mathematics levels. I mean, you can go buy a burger at Burger King and see what you have to deal with, man. Like
It's insane
it's insane.
because they've gotten away from teaching the fundamentals. They're more into teaching all these different woke programs instead of sticking to the fundamentals like math
Or nothing
reading.
at all. When they started the SATs, and I don't know what you guys had. We had it wasn't even SATs. It was standards. Yes.
Are you talking about the yearly test?
Yeah.
I know we had FCAT.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it was like a test to see if everybody was working on the same playing field. You're coming along, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So when they did all these standardized testings to decide what schools were working and what schools weren't, so they wouldn't leave students behind was the theory. But what has happened in turn is teachers are giving passing grades. So that way they still get the funding for their schooling.
Mm-hmm.
They still look like a good teacher, and they're sending kids through and stealing their entire future from them.
Wow, that's why I'm a more of an advocate of school choice, where you give the family the money really, and then they choose to take their kids to the best schools they possibly can. It kind of gives more of a competition aspect to schooling instead of just funding a school that's failing year in and year out. There's no competition aspect, so they're not afraid of losing out to another school because they know they're going to get the money anyways.
Kids from private schools have statistically much higher chance at getting into college, graduating college, making six figures. They live longer lives. Everything about it. So clearly privatized education works better. And maybe it wouldn't work better if people weren't robbing the system. But when you have this many people in the system, people are going to rob it.
Oh yeah, people are definitely going to rob it because it's going to be legit tunes of millions of dollars of money coming in every year that they're not going to get, whether they perform well or perform
Everyone's
bad.
hands are out. Everyone's hands are out.
out.
Me, not the kids that you're there to protect.
Right. So all in all, with this Chicago spending problem, I hope that they're able to turn this around because, I mean, if they keep year in and year out, keep up with a deficit, especially a $1.15 billion deficit, they're really going to end up filing bankruptcy as a city, so.
Does that happen? Is that a thing?
Yeah, a city can file for bankruptcy. I think it's a podcast that I watch.
Who can reorganize loans of $1.15 billion?
I don't know.
And who's getting screwed out of their money?
I don't know. It would be a tragedy, but I know it has happened before. It happened with Detroit. Detroit back in the day had to file for bankruptcy because
No kidding.
Right.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. But I do have something else with Chicago, with Chicago's downfall. Chicago also has a tax problem. I don't know if you heard about this. So Chicago has a property tax problem. They've had a property tax explosion about, I would say, a couple of days ago. So what happened, you remember last week when I talked about commercial properties, how the business owner may leave and go elsewhere and they won't take care of the building and the building will become dilapidated, unkept, and then the value drops and then the property tax value drops. So that means the city's not taking in as much property tax revenue. So this is basically what has happened to Chicago. The socialist policies that their politicians have incorporated has caused many business owners to flee and leave and go elsewhere, but they leave their businesses vacant. So it leaves their business.
Well, you can't sell them. Who wants to buy a business in Chicago?
Right, exactly.
I'm not buying a business in Chicago, opening a business in Chicago.
No, because the socialist policies are just going to hit you over the head anyway.
And the crime
the crime
it's
as
just
well.
not somewhere you want to be. And they're taxing the people so high that what are they going to spend your business? They're not going to spend money at your business. They're too busy buying the essentials.
Exactly. So that's exactly what happened. So the property values are going down because nobody's keeping up with the upkeep of the buildings. And so Chicago is taking that loss of property tax revenue, and they're passing it on to certain residencies within Chicago. So some residents have seen their property taxes, I don't know if you heard about this, go up as much as 133%.
And meanwhile, here in Florida, we're thinking about getting rid of property taxes because what happens is, you retire and you have your meek property that was worth $50,000-$60,000 when you purchased it in Chicago. So, grandma bought her house in 1960 for $30,000. Nice little home. She's taking care of it. It's so nice. The rest of the neighborhood has already gone to beep.
Yep.
And now she is retired, has a stable income, but it's coming from Social Security, so it's highly limited.
Right.
And she can no longer afford the property taxes. She has to sell her house.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's truly sad that they're passing on the property taxes to the residents and raising it 133%.
Well, that's Ben Shapiro. He'll just tell you to move somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, true. And I have a video on this raise that they just did. It's insane. Let me play this video for you guys.
A lot of sticker shock for Chicago homeowners. The long-delayed property tax bills are in, and yes, they include record increases. Why are they so high, and what could that have to do with the mayoral campaign 2 years from now? NBC5's Charlie Wojciechowski takes a closer look.
I'll be honest, I hadn't opened it up yet. I was scared.
What is there to be afraid of in your 2024 property tax bill? According to the Cook County Treasurer, whose job it is to send you a bill for all the taxes from various local government entities, a lot. The average residential bill is up almost 17% in tax year 2024 to more than $4,400.
Wait,
Why so
17% in 1 year?
Blame the
Oh, this is
downtown
1 year.
economy.
Yeah, you didn't know
These commercial buildings that you see downtown that are unrented and unoccupied, their taxes went down. And one commercial group goes down, residences go up. Pretty simple.
After analyzing the bills, the county treasurer's office says some neighborhoods are hit harder than others. In Englewood, the average increase is more than $600.
No, in
82%.
Inglewood?
In North Lawndale, bills jumped an average of
99.
And if I recall, Inglewood, you know, I don't think it's the nicest community. I think
No, most of the property increases have happened in neighborhoods that are not the nicest. But
right. So now you have
Right.
women who are already there, single moms, single grandmas. You know, they have the family in the house still, and now they're experiencing a raise like that.
it's insane.
You're gonna starve these people and make them homeless.
Yeah, you are gonna make them homeless. Exactly. It's pretty sad.
$1,800 or 99%. And in West Garfield Park, the median homeowner tax bill
What?
soared by nearly $2,000
What?
or 133%. Papa says a proposed head tax is the wrong way to go if you're trying to get businesses to pay more in property tax so that homeowners pay less.
We've got to revitalize the business community, get businesses back, and give them the confidence that the city is a place that they can do business in comfortably, and that's not happening.
But despite a defeat today in a city council committee, the mayor says he is not backing down on his $21 per employee per month head tax, which he says will go toward public safety.
I'm going to veto a budget that
Public
increases
safety.
property taxes, and I'm
Chicago.
challenging those with
Safety to
means,
do is
these
move
large
out.
corporations,
Exactly.
to pay their
And
fair
that's
share
what
in
the
taxes.
owners are doing.
This community safety charge does just that.
Johnson says he will veto any budget with a property tax increase. Pappas is among those considered.
Mayor Butthead Johnson has been a complete disaster for Chicago. I mean, he's talking about he's gonna veto it. It shouldn't even be. He's really the reason why it even happened in the first place.
He's the reason they need to increase them.
So he's trying to play savior, but he's the reason why the problem even happened. And it's sad that a lot of the residents of Chicago, they will time in and time out vote for somebody like him, and they just take him to the cleaners. I mean, because he campaigned on I'm gonna tax the rich, I'm gonna take wealth from the rich. But what people don't realize is if the rich get taxed, they can easily move somewhere else and pass the bill on to the more lower class people.
I mean, if you tax me higher on my businesses, what inevitably happens is my employees don't get raises.
Exactly.
We don't purchase new equipment for the jobs. And there's no perks and bonuses for the men.
No, not at all.
People don't believe in trickle-down economics because they've never owned a business.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, there are greedy business owners who don't pass their profits on to their employees. I'm not one, and I don't associate with anyone who's one.
But it's always better to treat your business owners in your community, your more wealthy in your community, better, because if you do, they'll treat the people that they employ better.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's always important.
There's always going to be anomalies to that.
It's always an anomaly.
But in general, at least they have the opportunity to treat them better.
Right, exactly. At least they have the opportunity. But you can see this tactic right here is not working out for Chicago. It's not working out for Mayor Brandon Johnson. It's funny. So I want to move on to my last downfall of Chicago topic. Is Chicago's violence. So have you seen the violence in Chicago?
The
lately?
last 2 weeks have been madness.
Yeah.
Madness.
It's been complete madness. So I have this one video of something that happened a few days ago. And it's of a downtown shooting that actually killed a 14-year-old boy and injured 8 people. So let's get into this.
The loop here in downtown Chicago, large crowds gathering for that Mag Mile Festival, and we have noticed that amplified police presence from the Chicago Police Department, officers patrolling the entire area, specifically here on State Street where we saw that shooting happen just last night. We talked to people who went to that festival. They said they were not going to let that shooting deter them from enjoying this day.
Downtown Chicago was filled with large crowds once again tonight as CPD continues to investigate 2 separate shootings that killed a 14-year-old boy and injured 8 others on Friday night. CPD with an increased presence tonight all across the city.
I ain't never seen nothing like it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't never seen as many polices downtown.
Families coming out for the Mag Mile Festival tonight say they made sure to be aware of their surroundings, but would not let those shootings stop them from enjoying the day.
I think knowing the peace of mind that it's such a controlled environment and there's so many of us, I think we were okay coming. We were excited to still come.
The first shooting happened right in front of ABC7's State Street studio and the Chicago Theater around 10 p.m., injuring 7 teenagers ranging from 13 to 17 years old. Then about 40 minutes later, and just around the corner on Dearborn,
why is a
another shooting
14-year-old
took
out in the
life of
street
a
at night?
14-year-old boy,
Yeah,
while
that's
an
another thing to
18-year-old
talk
man
about,
was
too.
taken to the
Why is
hospital in critical condition. Police have not revealed the motives behind the shootings and are still trying to figure out if they're connected. Meanwhile, Mayor Brandon Johnson expressing his frustration today while explaining the public safety plan they had in place.
We had 700 additional officers on top of the 1st Police District present. We had CVI workers that were out there as well. But clearly, what we put in place,
he looks like he knows he's.
Mayor Johnson says 5 guns were.
Oh, yeah,
you can see it in his face.
He also says city officials had heard of a possible teen takeover that was planned for Friday, and they tried to get ahead of it.
There was a communication that was delivered to CPS to encourage young people not to participate in these unauthorized gatherings.
So we're still waiting to learn more information from Chicago police on both of these shootings. At this time, no one is in custody.
Wow.
So the problem that's really going on with Chicago is they have a huge police shortage. So a lot of these situations they can't even respond to accurately. It's been a lot of people complaining that over quite a few years that they're not even responding
30
to a lot of their
minutes for a 911 call.
or they don't respond at all to a lot of their 911
Yeah, well,
calls.
car break-ins, home break-ins. If the person is not actively committing the crime, they're not supposed to respond.
Yeah. So they have a major shortage, and this is why it's very sad because you have a 14-year-old that died in this scenario, and it could have been avoided because, as some people may know, Trump offered to send in the National Guard to Chicago a couple of months ago. They fought it vehemently. Their governor fought it. Their mayor fought it. And it gets to the point where if they would have accepted the National Guard, a situation like this could have been avoided because you have extra police protection to be able to go to scenes like this, de-escalate the situation, or prevent the situation from even happening in the first place.
Crime has absolutely plummeted in every city the National Guard has stepped foot into.
Yeah.
It has plummeted.
Yeah.
And this is another disappointment I have with Trump. He lets these judges who have no ruling right, no constitutional authority to stop these actions, and he listens.
Yeah, I've seen that time and time again.
There's no reason to listen. They don't have the constitutional authority. So why not just do what you're going to do and let it go to the Supreme Court anyway?
Yeah, that's true.
Force your hand.
Now I wonder does he think it will lead to a more of an impeachment scenario? I'm wondering. What do you think?
I think if he does these things, it doesn't matter if they impeach him because they have the House and the Senate, and they can't impeach him. They can impeach him, but they can't remove him from office.
Okay, so
but if you continue down the road of not taking action when action is needed, well, then we lose the House, we lose the Senate. Well, not we, because I'm not particularly Republican, but Republicans lose the House and the Senate, and then he has no backing and no way to do anything.
That's true.
But if he stands firm and is the Trump that ran originally in 2016 and swings the bat for the home run, like, people are going to respect it.
Yeah,
and the numbers are going to speak for themselves. The numbers are going to speak for themselves.
That's true. People will respect that because you're right. He did.
It's what we voted for.
Yeah, and he did do a great numbers with bringing down the crime in Washington D.C. and in Memphis. So you're right. If he really clamped down on that and really forced their hand and send a National Guard to these cities, even with going against some of what these judges are saying, I think it will have a dramatic increase.
Send them, let the city or the state sue you, and then you appeal the lawsuit to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Or not the lawsuit. I guess it would be I guess it would be a criminal suit for if he were to send them after they were said he could not. But then you take that to the Supreme Court. You proactively make moves for the safety of your people, and you deal with the consequences later.
Yeah, you deal with consequences later. That's true. Yes, I wish he would take more of that approach. That's definitely true, because we definitely need more police presence, law enforcement presence in some of these cities, especially Chicago.
Yeah, we need more. We need more in Tallahassee.
Yeah, Tallahassee too. We need them a little bit everywhere.
We have areas here that aren't even patrolled.
Wow.
I mean, I lived on the south side in one of the roughest neighborhoods in the city for years. And drive-by shootings would happen and police would never come.
Wow.
Like, people didn't get shot, but there were shooters. I mean, and maybe that's the hood not calling the police. I don't know. I didn't call them, so I guess I can't really say a lot. But I'm just mean, like, somebody called them.
Yeah, I would think somebody would have had to call them.
And just no one show up. And you know, when I lived down in that neighborhood by the fairgrounds, I never would see a cop car go up down the street, any of the surrounding streets, and it was one of the most crime ravaged neighborhoods in the city.
Wow.
No police presence.
But no police presence. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, so we need that everywhere. We need more police presence everywhere. And I do wish that's something he'll change hopefully next year or something, where he stands more firm on sending those law enforcement officers to these cities where danger is present. But what you have some topics for us today?
All right, guys.